What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. We are in Warframe. I'm going to talk about my Tiberon setup now that I've got the Riven mod on there. I'm going to show you what it looks like before the Riven mod, and obviously when it starts. And again, like I've said for 4 years now, this is just my personal setup. So set it up however you want, play it however you want. These are just mild suggestions on how I play to fit my style. I will say that in every video that I ever put up when it comes to setups. You play it exactly as you want it. So, first off, I ended up now I'm at 6 Forma. So, since it already gives you one V slot, I believe it is, when you first get the weapon, I basically use 7 slots already. So looking at it here, and I kind of want to show you where it starts. So looking at it, this is where the blank plate is, right? And then you can see I've got 4 V's, 3 dashes, and I actually, in this particular setup, I added the extra V to put the Riven mod in there, but it kind of screwed me up on my original build, so I swapped my original build, my 5 Forma build, a little bit here. So this is what it obviously is. It's a little bit of everything, a little impact, a little slash, mostly puncture, a little bit in the numbers of status and critical and whatnot. But understandably, as the burst weapon plays, the status is actually not that bad. It actually works out pretty well in terms of how it does. Overall, so we move into, let's say, the B build, which would be the current configuration prior to a Riven mod, after I added an extra V slot and screwed up what I originally had. My own personal thing, right? So I bring the accuracy down a bit because I'm running with that heavy caliber. Fire rate goes up because I've got the shred on there with the punch through, which I do love the punch through. Serration split chamber, of course. So you can see we got a little higher status chance, but it does work. Trust me, it does work. It's just not like super 100% all the time, but it does come out pretty nice when it does work, and it does proc. In fact, Eclipse Stormbringer bring me an 820 corrosive. Piercing Caliber bringing that puncture up to a 504, and Hellfire giving me a 410. Now originally I didn't have shred on there. I had and I mean I could still do it. I had Wildfire in there, so I had it a little bit like that. I believe it was. Of course now it's all screwed up because of the way I have the V slots, but I had Wildfire next to Hellfire and Piercing Caliber up here, and so it gave me more fire damage, which was like a 610 fire damage, but nonetheless. Anyway, so this is how I would run it if I didn't have the Riven mod that I got now, okay? And this to me is a perfectly good setup. It runs very well. You get about a medium range in terms of shots because you lose, a portion of your accuracy, but it's actually still just fine being a burst weapon, okay? Now that I add the Riven mod in, you're going to see the big change in what I had non-Riven. And now remember, this Riven mod here is going to increase my reload speed, my damage, and my status chance. So we'll basically double my status chance. My reload speed goes down by about 1. My fire rate goes down to back to the original. But if you look, go from a 114 to 171, not a big deal. A 501 to a 752, that's a big change. 114 and 171, yep. The heat is 410 now to 615 without having to have the Wildfire mod on there. And corrosive goes from an 820 all the way up to a 1231, making this a very dominating weapon, if you will. And that is a huge, huge dynamic change just by adding in this Riven mod. And again, this is not a necessity. You don't have to have this. You don't have to have any Riven mods to play and enjoy the game. It's just extra on top of, right? I personally, let me just go here so you can see it. I'm personally more than happy to run this anywhere with this particular setup, and I've always been content this particular way. Never been an issue for me. I know other people don't really like the weapon as much as I do, but this just kind of tops the cake for me, if you will, giving me all that extra in there. So that's basically where I'm at. That's my 6 Forma. Good God, if I have to add one more, then it's a build that'll never be able to have any variation to it. But that's where it's at. comments, questions below. I will catch you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in.